If you had to lose a serious amount of weight fast and actually keep it off this time, would you know what to do? I do. This is the exact process I'd use on myself, the same one I've watched work for patients and for hundreds of thousands of people who've gone through our programs. 7 daily habits. That's all it takes to flip your body back into fat-burning mode. And a few of these might go against everything you've been told. Let's get into it. Habit number 1, and this one matters more than people realize, because it decides whether your whole day works for you or against you. What you eat first thing in the morning either keeps your metabolism burning fat, or it triggers cravings, blood sugar crashes, and fat storage before lunch even shows up. The difference almost always comes down to one thing: protein. In one study, people simply raised their protein intake from around 15% of their diet up to 30%. That's it. No calorie counting, no restriction. And they ended up eating about 440 fewer calories a day without trying, and lost close to 11 pounds of body fat over 12 weeks. Why? Because protein steadies your blood sugar, keeps insulin, your body's fat storage hormone, from spiking, and keeps you actually full so you're not hunting for a snack 2 hours later. It even lowers ghrelin, your hunger hormone, by up to 25%. Who needs an appetite suppressant when breakfast can do that for you? So here's the target. Men, aim for 30 to 40 grams of protein in the morning. Women, 20 to 30 grams. And you don't even need a full sit-down meal to get there. If you like intermittent fasting, try what I call dirty fasting, a protein coffee. Blend your coffee with a scoop of collagen, maybe a little butter, a little coconut oil. It tastes like a rich latte, and it quietly delivers a protein punch while keeping you in a fasted state. Another option, mix collagen with cacao powder and water for something like a chocolate milk. Simple, fast, done. You can also blend a proper protein shake, collagen, or a clean protein powder, a spoon of nut butter, some blueberries, a few chia seeds for fiber and digestion. Prefer real food? 2 to 4 eggs will do the job, with a side of avocado for healthy fat. Or go with turkey sausage or turkey bacon alongside some sautéed greens. Whatever you choose, the rule stays the same. Your first meal should center on protein, not fruit, not cereal, not toast. If you're plant-based or dairy-free, you've still got options. Collagen and bone broth protein are dairy-free. Hemp, chia, and flax seeds add protein to any smoothie. Clean plant protein powders work too. Just watch for artificial sweeteners and fillers. Beans pair well with eggs if you eat them. Just be careful with plant-based meat substitutes. Many are loaded with additives that stress your liver and slow everything down. Whatever path you're on, feed your body real protein first, and the rest of your day gets easier. Habit 2. Let's clear something up first. Carbs are not the enemy. Eating them without any strategy is the problem, especially once you're past 40. So instead of cutting carbs completely, we cycle them. On lower activity or rest days, keep carbs minimal. On days you're training or moving a lot, bring in fiber-rich, slow-digesting carbs, lentils, beans, a little quinoa, wild rice, even sweet potato, plus a generous amount of vegetables. What we skip, no matter the day, is bread, pasta, cereal, crackers, anything processed with sugar, and no real fiber attached. Here's why this works. Fiber slows down how fast sugar hits your bloodstream, which blunts the insulin spike that leads to fat storage and plateaus. It protects hormones like leptin and thyroid function, which can drop if you stay extremely low carb for too long. And it trains your metabolism to shift smoothly between burning carbs and burning fat, which is exactly how athletes fuel high performance without crashing. So on higher activity days, think beans, think lentils, think roasted root vegetables. Fiber first, flour never. A carb day is not an invitation for pizza and cookies, it's a chance to refuel with quality. Habit 3. Move more, burn more. If your meals are dialed in but you're sitting most of the day, your body is still fighting an uphill battle. Every bit of movement lowers insulin, supports detox through sweat and circulation, and reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that quietly stores fat around your midsection. Walking after meals is one of the most underrated tools you have. Just 10 to 15 minutes of walking after eating can lower blood sugar by over 20% and cut the insulin response by roughly a quarter compared to sitting on the couch. Beyond that, everyday movement adds up too: cleaning, pacing, taking the stairs, even fidgeting. One study found fidgeting alone can raise your energy use by 20 to 40% above resting levels. That's real fat burning happening without a single planned workout. So build movement into moments you already have. Pace while you're on a phone call. Take a lap around the house every hour. Choose the stairs over the elevator. Stretch during commercials. Do a few bodyweight squats while dinner's cooking, or calf raises while you brush your teeth. None of this needs to feel like exercise. Once movement becomes part of your rhythm, fat loss stops being a battle and starts becoming a byproduct of how you live. Habit 4. If you've cleaned up your meals and you're moving all day but the fat still isn't budging, this is your next lever, because at some point your body needs a stronger signal to build muscle and burn fat. And you get that from short bursts of strength and intensity, not an hour on the treadmill. Here's how simple this can be. Pick 3 movements: squats, lunges, push-ups, planks. Run them as a circuit. 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. Move to the next exercise. Repeat for 3 rounds. That's a complete workout in under 10 minutes, no equipment required, though dumbbells can add extra resistance if you want it. This works because it sends your body 2 very clear messages: build muscle, burn fat. Strength training raises your resting metabolism, and the intensity spikes growth hormone, in some studies by over 150%, which pulls fat out of storage to fuel recovery. You also get an afterburn effect, where your body keeps burning calories for up to 24 hours after you finish. Short on time? One study found that around 75 minutes of this style of training per week produced the same fat loss and blood sugar improvements as over 3 hours of traditional moderate cardio. 6-month trials have shown meaningful reductions in abdominal fat with this approach, often 10 to 15%. And this isn't just for people who are already fit. If you're over 50, just starting out, or working around joint issues, there are modified versions using a chair or a wall for support. Once you combine strength with intensity, even a few times a week, you're not just working out, you're changing how your body actually functions. Habit 5. By now you know how to start your day, how to move more, how to cycle your carbs. Now let's talk about how to actually build each meal. Here's the new rule. Every meal should include protein, healthy fat, and fiber, not protein, fat, and carbs like the old model. Protein keeps you full, slows digestion, and protects the muscle you're working to build. Without enough of it, your body starts breaking down muscle instead of burning fat, and your metabolism stalls. Favorite sources: pasture-raised eggs, wild-caught fish, grass-fed beef, pasture-raised poultry, bone broth, clean collagen with no artificial sweeteners, hemp and chia seeds, and beans. Healthy fats regulate your hormones, extend fullness, and reduce inflammation. And unlike carbs, they don't spike insulin. Just half an avocado at lunch has been shown to boost satisfaction by over 20% for up to 5 hours. Favorite sources: avocado, olive oil, coconut oil, ghee or butter, raw nuts and seeds, and fatty fish. Fiber slows digestion, keeps blood sugar steady, and feeds the good bacteria in your gut. High-fiber eaters in research consistently show better blood sugar control. Favorite sources: leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts, berries, especially raspberries and blueberries, beans and lentils, chia and flax seeds, quinoa, and wild rice. Why all three together? Because they're a team. Skip the fat, and your blood sugar can still spike. Skip the fiber, and your body won't burn fat as efficiently. Skip the protein, and you're not feeding the muscle that drives your metabolism. One more detail that matters more than people think: the order you eat matters too. Eating protein first, before any carbohydrate, has been shown to blunt the blood sugar spike by up to 45% and the insulin response by up to 50%. Same meal, different order, very different result. Habit 6. We've covered what to eat. Now let's talk about when. If you're eating from the moment you wake up until the moment you fall asleep, your body never gets a real window to burn through stored fat. Every time you eat, insulin rises, and while it's elevated, fat burning shuts off. The fix isn't starving yourself, it's rhythm. Space your meals out, cut the constant snacking, and give your body time to reset. In a 12-week study, people who simply narrowed their eating window to about 10 hours a day, without changing a single thing about what they ate, lost over 7 pounds, dropped nearly 2 inches off their waist, and lowered body fat by 3%, just from timing. This kind of spacing between meals has also been linked to a dramatic rise in growth hormone, which tells your body to burn fat and protect muscle. It also activates autophagy, your body's internal cleanup process for damaged cells and stored toxins, which matters because as fat cells shrink, they release stored toxins back into your bloodstream, and your body needs to be able to clear that out. Timing also matters more than most people realize. One study found that eating the same dinner at 10 at night instead of 6 led to higher blood sugar and noticeably less fat burned overnight. Same food, different clock, completely different outcome. So here's a simple structure to start with. Stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed, eat 3 balanced meals a day, and skip the snacking in between. Aim for 12 to 14 hours overnight without food. If mornings are tough, ease into it with a liquid, protein-first breakfast, like that protein coffee, to naturally extend your fasting window. Space your meals 4 to 6 hours apart. And if you're hungry between meals, reach for water first, because thirst gets mistaken for hunger far more often than you'd think. Put all 6 of these together, and you're no longer guessing what to eat, when to eat, or how to move. Your hormones start leveling out, your metabolism starts responding the way it's supposed to, and fat burning stops being a fight and starts becoming something your body just does. But there's one more piece almost nobody talks about, and it can quietly stall everything else you're doing right. Your liver. If your liver is under constant pressure, fat loss slows down no matter how well you're eating or how consistently you're moving. There are a handful of everyday foods, some of them marketed as healthy, that spike inflammation and put real strain on your liver without you ever realizing it. If you want to protect the progress you're about to make, that's the next thing to look at. Let's take a step back for a second, because I want you to notice something. None of these 7 habits require a pill, a shot, or a program that costs you a fortune. They require attention. A protein-first breakfast instead of a sugar-first one. Carbs that come with fiber instead of carbs that come alone. A short walk after dinner instead of straight to the couch. 10 minutes of real intensity a few times a week instead of an hour you never actually find time for. Meals built around protein, fat, and fiber instead of whatever's fastest. A little space between meals instead of grazing all day. And a liver that isn't constantly under attack from foods you didn't even know were working against you. Here's the thing, most people get wrong when they try to lose weight fast. They pick one habit, usually the hardest one, and they go all in on it while ignoring the other 6. Somebody cuts every carb and wonders why their energy crashes and their thyroid starts acting up. Somebody starts an intense workout routine but keeps eating a carb-heavy breakfast, so they're fighting their own hormones the entire session. Somebody fasts for 18 hours a day but breaks it with a pastry and a sugary coffee, which undoes most of the benefit before it even starts. The reason these 7 habits work together is because they're not competing strategies. They're one system. Fix the morning, and the rest of the day gets easier. Add movement, and your meals get used instead of stored. Add intensity, and your body has a reason to hold on to muscle while it burns fat. Time your meals with intention, and your hormones finally get a break long enough to do their job. You don't need to do all 7 perfectly starting today. Pick one. Start with breakfast if that feels manageable. Or start with the walk after dinner if that's the easiest habit to slide into your day. Then layer in the next one once the first one feels automatic. That's how real change sticks, not through a drastic overhaul you abandon in 2 weeks, but through small compounding shifts that your body actually adapts to. And remember, the goal was never just to see a lower number on the scale for a week or two. It's to build a body that burns fat as its default state, not as something you have to force through willpower every single day. That's the difference between a diet you white-knuckle through and a set of habits you can live with. Get these 7 right, and your body starts doing the work for you. So here's your starting point. Tomorrow morning, before anything else, make sure your first meal has real protein in it. That one shift alone will start showing up in your energy, your cravings, and your focus within a few days. Everything else on this list builds from there, one habit at a time, until fat burning stops being something you chase and starts being something your body simply does.